Listen!
The Force Losers Podcast with Brad and Ted.
All right, we're starting this. We are starting this shit show.
Yeah, who cares about intros? Like, come on. Like,
What?
what's the point of, like, I don't know. For me, it just, like, it feels so performative. Like, hey, like we're some fucking, like, morning radio show talk host. Like, you're listening to Kevin Brad in the morning.
It's fair.
Actually, if you are starting your morning by listening to this garbage, shame on you.
We're disappointed in you.
Like, come on. You could have listened to, like, an informative podcast. You could have enriched yourself.
Could have enriched yourself.
Listen to a fucking audiobook or something. You know? Like, learn something.
Jesus.
Don't listen to us goons fucking talking about whatever we're going to talk about tonight.
What are we going to talk about tonight?
We'll find out.
Did you finally watch Halo?
You know I haven't. You know I haven't finished it.
Why?
I know you're disappointed in me because you keep bringing it up like a fucking boomer with memory issues. Like you have like early onset dementia. You know? I know. There's 2 episodes left.
I can't talk about... Wait, isn't there? I thought last night... episode 9's the season finale.
I know. I haven't watched the last 2. I know. I
can't talk to you about them until you watch them.
I know you can't, but I'm kind of saving that for the next fucking episode, bro.
Fucking shit me.
Because look, here's the reality, right?
You're saving it for the next episode, and here we are with nothing to talk about.
We got plenty to talk about. We're talking right now. We're just fucking talking.
We're just. God.
What do you think people expect from us, dude? Like, I am not about to spout some grand soliloquy, okay? We're just gonna fucking... A few episodes ago, we talked about farting in the Sistine Chapel, okay? It's not exactly highbrow entertainment.
It's for the sake of the reverb.
True. I mean, nothing is as satisfying as an echoey fart, except a fart that you feel in your own guts when you let it go, like it has aftershocks. Or like, whenever you have one that's, like, impressively long, you know? Those are my favorite. Like when you have to sit there and you got like one cheek lifted and you're like, God damn, is it still going? Wow. That's my favorite.
Or I don't know how do you feel about the farts that like they're kind of like small but like they travel up your butt crack before they go?
Oh, the ones that are I call those like they're the Bilbo farts.
Bilbo farts.
They're Bilbo farts because as soon as you let it rip, it's going on an adventure. Do you ever get one that like it? Because we know there's ones that go up the crack, right, towards your lumbar.
They split your balls.
Have you gotten ones that like that have flooded your nuts?
Totally,
man. That's the roulette of farts, right? There's like 3 stages of fart roulette. You don't know if it's going up the crack, up the taint, or if there's something solid.
Or if it's just going to sit there and not go anywhere and you're just going to sit there with it.
I don't know. I never get like I know some people get like stomach pains if they don't fart. Like I've never had that. I am a gassy motherfucker. So it constantly, it's seeping out constantly.
That's good to know.
Yeah. I mean... This is why you come listen to us for this information, because you want to know the intimate details of our flatulence.
Yeah, because what better way to start to have an episode for the first 5 minutes is just us talking about our farts.
Bro, we're in year 5. Like...
That's fair, yeah.
Come on. We're in year 5. We are now 8 episodes away from 100. Like...
God, this is episode 92.
Yeah. I mean... I know, like, the show has gone through a few iterations, but, like, I love where it is now because it's so fucking aimless.
We just stopped caring somewhere along the line.
We care. We just don't.
Well, I mean, like...
It just goes where it fucking goes.
Yeah. We're talking. We're just sitting here talking amongst friends.
At this point, it's more for us than it is for anybody else.
That's true.
That's honestly all it is.
Yeah,
it's more for us.
It's our bi-weekly get-together.
Well, yeah, dude. Like,
or bi-monthly get-together.
I think that, like, okay, so you remember when you were a kid, you would just go over to your friend's house just because, or, like, you would just, like, I would just show up at my friend's house sometimes, right? As an adult, we have to schedule shit now. Mm-hmm. So, like, if nothing else, this stupid little podcast is, like, the vehicle with that allows us to, like, hang out.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It allows us to maintain friendships as adults.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because we're talking about, like, kid shit. Which is great because fuck growing up, right? Peter Pan syndrome forever.
Is that what is that legitimately what it's called, Peter Pan syndrome?
I don't know. All I know
that
is
sounds like something it would be called. That's why I'm like,
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know, but like I know adulthood is the pits.
Yes.
I can't believe I was ever like impatient to get here. Not at all. Can't believe that. Cannot believe that. Like shame on me. I wasted my best years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, I know I mentioned audiobook earlier. And
yes, when we were talking about when we were at Heroes and Fantasies, and you were we were passing by a Saruman action figure.
He's a dick.
He is a dick.
He's a dick.
That's kind of his point as a character.
But and I told you, played brilliantly by Sir Christopher Lee.
Yes.
So like lately I've been diving back into like reading, but not actually reading anything because who has the fucking time? So with work, audiobooks are like the perfect format for me to consume literature. And I'm trying to like read Tolkien all the way up until September. We are fucking danger close. We're getting so fucking close. So I'm trying to read but I also read a new Star Wars novel, and I know you don't go into the Star Wars novels much, but man.
Oh, was it the one you were telling me about with Vader?
No, it's called Brotherhood. It's a early Clone Wars story about Obi-Wan and Anakin, like very shortly after Anakin was knighted, very shortly after Obi-Wan was put on the council, initially on a temporary basis. Like it's fucking good, dude. Like I'm telling you, man, Lucasfilm Publishing does not fucking miss.
No.
Like lately they have been on fucking fire.
Yeah, no, they
like the High Republic, fucking.
I actually have not had the chance to get into the High Republic.
Oh, you are so missing out, man.
I know it's like again, like my job. I'm off 3 days a week, but for those 3 days, I have to be a father, and like otherwise, I'm working, 12-hour days, basically, 8 in the morning to 7 at night. I come home, I make dinner, I go the fuck to bed. Especially since it's been 100-degree weather outside, it's just been fucking miserable.
Yeah, so I imagine they probably frown on the use of headphones at your work, huh?
Yeah, because we have call-outs that we gotta listen for and shit. Otherwise, someone might get hit by a car.
Cool.
Yeah.
Even if you can't read the books, you should at least like watch some of the recap videos and like find some material out there to catch yourself up, because some of the stuff in the High Republic especially, holy fuck.
Oh, is it good?
Oh, it's so damn good. It's because the slate of writers they've got for the High Republic stuff, the creative team they've on that, they're heavy hitters. They're fucking heavy hitters. And some of the main High Republic storybooks like Light of the Jedi and Rising Storm and Falling Star, Fallen Star will break your heart. It will absolutely break your fucking heart. It's wow.
I don't know, man, because what was it? There was one of the one of those shorts that they did. What was it? The miniseries, the animated episodes they
Visions.
did. Visions.
Yeah,
there was one of those Vision stories, like, kind of broke my heart. The one where it's with the bunny girl. It's like one of the last ones. Oh,
yeah,
that hurt,
dude. Like, so the cool thing about the High Republic is the Jedi, because it starts off like 200 years before the Phantom Menace, right? So the Jedi during the High Republic are the Jedi as they were supposed to be.
Peacekeepers.
Well, like, it's just, like, at the height, right?
Well, yeah.
Because, like, you know how the Jedi in the prequels are kind of fucky and, you know, they're
kind of iffy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they do some questionable shit, and, you know, they literally let a Sith Lord take power right under their fucking noses. Way to go, gang.
Good job, Yoda.
Yeah, no shit. But the Jedi in the High Republic, of which Yoda is a part, it's them at their best, right? And it's so fucking rad. And, like, just reading Brotherhood, just finished that up, like, last week. For me, it is no coincidence that book literally shows, like, Anakin Skywalker at his best, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we are a week away from seeing him at his absolute fucking worst. You know? Vader is his worst. And this is a fully realized Vader. This is not, like, conflicted because his kid's alive Vader. This is, like,
this is
pure
Vader
vengeance.
when he's just been evil.
Yeah, like, he's really leaning into it. You know what I mean? So I don't know where that came from, but, like, it's so good. It's so good. And it's also kind of refreshing to, like, get back into reading again, because I was such a voracious reader for so many years, and I kind of got away from it, you know. Yeah, I'm telling you, audiobooks, wonderful.
I know.
Audible, if sponsor us.
When I had the opportunity, I was listening to audiobooks a lot.
Yeah. And so, like, right now, my current conundrum is I did a Star Wars book. It was nice. It was great. Now I got to go back into Tolkien. And I just finished Children of Húrin. And I told you about Children of Húrin.
Tell me it's depressing as shit.
If you want to read that book, please do so, but be prepared to find a coping mechanism. If you drink heavily, you gird your loins. I don't know what to tell you, because
you know I drink heavily, it just doesn't do anything.
Children of Húrin was Tolkien's swing at a Greek fucking tragedy. I don't know if you've read Greek tragedies, but they get fucking nuts.
I had to in high school.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll give you a quick synopsis, right? Just a quick synopsis of Children of Húrin.
All right.
Whole basis is there's this guy, Húrin. He is a lord of men.
Mm-hmm.
He is at the Nirnaideth Arnoidiad, or the Battle of Unnumbered Tears, in which he saves an elf lord, but he is captured by Morgoth, the original Dark Lord of Middle-earth. Mm-hmm. Morgoth does not kill Húrin. He starts torturing him. He places a curse on his kids, right? So he has a son, Túrin, who is in Doriath, sent to Doriath to live with Thingol, the elf king. This is getting really complicated, but anyway. Everything Túrin does turns to shit. Literally, he has the reverse of the Midas touch. He kills his best friend on accident. He kills an elf in Thingol's kingdom who is attacking him, gets banished. He becomes an outlaw. He he ends up at another elven kingdom, Nargothrond. He becomes a big world-renowned warrior. He's there at the fall of Nargothrond. He is cursed by he is fucked up by a dragon. He ends up wandering the wilds again, meets his long-lost sister, marries his long-lost sister because he doesn't know it's his sister, impregnates his sister. The dragon then fucking... It's this dude's life is nothing but tragedy, and the entire time, Morgoth is making sure Húrin, his father, can see all of it. And then once his kids are dead... He lets Húrin go to be all mad and fucking, like, lose his mind and shit. He finds his wife right before she dies. She fucking kicks the bucket. And then Húrin goes off looking for Gondolin and actually, like, contributes to the fall of Gondolin. It is sad. Like, literally, by the time I was
Is Gondolin... Which one's Gondolin?
Gondolin is the hidden elf kingdom in the first age.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, King
that's where
Turgon's
everything
kingdom.
started, more or less.
Not
everything like storyline, but like in this story.
Well, the fall of Gondolin was like the last straw before the Valar got involved and before the War of Wrath. But
before the angels came down.
Fuck yeah, they did. But like, I finished this.
Are there any
book.
Balrogs?
Oh yeah, there's Balrogs all over the first age.
I'm not the first age. I mean in the story.
In Children of Húrin, no. There is a dragon, Glaurung. Balrogs come into play with the fall of Gondolin.
Gotcha.
And then they were at the Battle of Sudden Flame, naturally. Yeah, I mean, Balrogs were Maiar that Melkor corrupted.
Yeah,
They were essentially angels that he corrupted.
It's one of the few things I know, because that's like one of the few like Lord of the Rings deep lore that I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, Balrogs are fucking sick.
Yeah.
So I finished that book, and I was like, fuck, I'm a sad boy. It affected...
Is that why you were depressed today?
No, that's just bipolar disorder.
Okay,
Hey!
that's fine.
But, like, after I finished that book, I was like, I have no joy left. Holy shit. And, like, I'm really grateful for the Star Wars book, because that was like, okay, yay. Ah, good times. Yes, good stories. Yes, no tragedies here. Like, it was... Eventually.
You're reading the High Republic, so there, I mean...
Oh, no. And the High Republic, the next phase is going back even further, which sounds fucking rad. Raven. Not yet. No, he's well before the High Republic.
No, I know.
But, you know, so, like, right now, my conundrum is I have to find another Tolkien book, but there's Beren and Luthien, which is a contender. I have not read The Fall of Gondolin yet, but I don't know if I can handle any more tragedy in my current state. And then I have the Unfinished Tales, which is appealing to me, but it's also 21 hours long.
Well, you know, it'll keep you busy.
Yeah. And then there's The Hobbit. So I'm leaning towards The Hobbit, you know, light, not too crazy, you know.
I mean, I'm partial to, like, chronological order, but I'm also OCD.
Too true. And if you were going to do it in chronological order, it'd probably be The Silmarillion, Beren and Luthien, Children of Húrin, Fall of Gondolin, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
That'd probably be it. At least that would be my headcanon chronological order. So, I mean, if I plan this correctly, I will be able to populate my summer with Tolkien running up to Rings of Power. However, I have to take a Star Wars break in there, because Shadows of the Sith is coming out end of June, and that book gets me turgid. Like, the very fucking concept of old Luke Skywalker searching for the Sith Eternal. Yes.
That's the one where Anakin's Force Ghost has to save him, right?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. And I am dying for Force Ghost Anakin Luke interaction. I need this in my life. I need it.
I mean, we should be seeing we might be seeing something in the Ahsoka series.
Hopefully.
I mean,
hopefully it's in production. They're shooting it.
It's like we've been saying. It's like you just want that one moment where Ahsoka's walking around and suddenly she hears, "Hey, Snips." It's like,
oh, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Like it feels like right now, if you're a prequel kid, you're fucking eating. You're eating. You know, like, literally the Kenobi series is a fucking love letter to prequel kids.
Yeah.
You know?
From the look of it, it's, that third trailer came out. Have you seen that third trailer?
I've seen a couple different clips. I'm trying to, like, wean myself off.
There's, like, one where Owen's trying to run from an Inquisitor, and she, like, combat rolls in front of him and ignites her lightsaber.
Oh, Reva? Reva's her name. Yeah, that's one of the new Inquisitors, man. I love the Inquisitorius. It's such a cool, gnarly concept.
It is. Did they tweak the like, compared to, like, the first trailer, like the first sneak peek that we saw for Kenobi, did they tweak the Grand Inquisitor's look a little bit?
No.
He looked a little different in between trailers.
It might just be lighting, but I mean, there was a bit of a kerfuffle, because the actor Rupert, I don't want to try to butcher his last name. I'm not going to butcher his last name. So I'm abandoning it.
Right.
I abandoned it with style.
It wasn't very stylish.
Yeah. Well, there was a headline of an interview he was giving, and he said that he didn't watch any of Rebels material, so he got no. Yeah. So that was a bit of a kerfuffle, right? But, do you really think he went into that character without anyone giving him bullet points? Really?
I fucking hope not.
Yeah, come on, I guarantee it.
Swear to God.
If you think that there was not somebody on set or, you know, in the prep saying, like, here's some bullet points you need to know about this character, that's ridiculous. Come on.
Where the fuck is the IMDb?
I don't know. I don't have a...
Right down the ground. What the fuck?
I mean, I'm just. How did we get to 1 week before Kenobi? How? How did this happen?
We waited patiently, unassumingly.
It feels like yesterday that it was fucking announced.
It really doesn't, because I've also been like, with pushbacks. Hasn't Kenobi been in the works for like the last 3 years?
In some form or other, yes.
It's like it doesn't feel like yesterday. It feels like it's been a while with pushbacks.
Like Ewan McGregor is known for a long time that he was coming back. He's known for a long time, you know.
Well, that's not really a character you abandon.
Well, that and like there was like different story iterations that came up, you know.
Yeah.
One thing that really did excite me is the director, Deborah Chow, stated that like this is very much a character study. They're diving deep into the character of Kenobi. This excites me because as much as I like the whoosh whoosh of the lightsabers, and everyone does,
The whoosh whoosh.
Have
you seen someone took took the first battle between from episode 4 between old man Ben and Vader, and like used modern day CGI and like recreated the battle.
Yeah, I did. It's fucking rad.
It's fucking rad.
It's fucking cool, and like we're getting something similar. We're getting something in that vein, you know. Dude, it's so good. It's one of those like the anticipation is so fucking feral in me right now. Like and again, it's probably also because like I'm desperately clinging on to like new releases and stuff to keep me sane and keep me functioning in this fucking hellscape we live in.
Well, I mean, we've had Moon Knight.
Yes, man.
We finished Moon Knight. We have Halo. We finished up Halo, and then yeah, and then what is it? How long until Kenobi?
1 week, bro.
1 week, and then Rings of Power.
Well, we also got Miss Marvel coming June 8th.
Yeah.
That looks pretty fucking cool, man. That looks really good.
Do you need my Amazon Prime?
We will. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But let's actually circle back. Let's circle back to Moon Knight real quick.
Okay.
Because we never got to wrap that. We talked a little bit about it when it was first premiering.
Yeah.
So I want your overall impression.
I feel like they handled it very well. Oh, God. Why didn't we talk about Moon Knight when we were talking about shit breaking our hearts?
Oh, God.
Oh, my fucking...
That show.
That had tears. That had tears coming out of my face.
Dude. Okay. So...
God, man.
I'm going to preface what I'm about to say here with a few things, right? Thing number one. I have always understood the importance of representation in media. I've always understood its importance. It is a very, very important thing for people to be able to see themselves in the media that they love. So they have something to identify with, something to aspire to, something to look at and think, fuck yeah, I got that. I get that. It's very important. So I've always understood this conceptually. So that's thing number one.
Hold that thought. I want you to look. My daughter is cuddling with a stuffed Mickey.
Damn.
That's how she sleeps now.
She's going to be a clingy one, buddy.
I know. All right, thought number two.
Thought number two. Having said that about representation, having said that, I also understand that I am not underrepresented in media, okay? Being a straight white man, I am fucking everywhere, okay? I'm not even underrepresented in the podcast space. You can find 1,000 podcasts of people that look like you and I. Many of them with shitty opinions. But so understanding that I am not underrepresented in media, and I understand
turning the frogs gay.
Did you see the latest Alex Jones thing?
I don't give two shits about Alex
Dude,
Jones.
no,
I do not watch Alex Jones.
This is amazing.
I just know I do a really good impression.
He is convinced, or at least he's trying to convince his audience, that chemicals in the water and things we consume are shrinking the male penis by generations. He literally said on a show with his whole chest, if your daddy had a foot long, you got 6 inches. If you got 6 inches, they're not even going to have penises. Like, he literally... Our penises are smaller. I mean, I know myself I'm painfully average, but, I mean, fuck. You think it's the chemicals? Anyway, sidebar. That was a sidebar. So, having said all of that about representation, regarding Moon Knight...
Oh, God damn it.
What was really revelatory to me is to see a piece of media that handled a mentally ill character in the way that they did. Because it's really easy when you have a mentally ill character in any kind of media to fall into tropes. It's very easy. You see it all the time. You'll see a mentally ill character in show whatever. That's like you'll see them overly chaotic or violent, even like expressively violent. You know, like even anytime there's a fucking mass shooting, which is like check your watch. They always say, "Oh, he's mentally ill." When statistically speaking, those of us in the mentally ill community are more likely to harm ourselves than we are to harm you, right? It's one of those things, right? So with Moon Knight, not only did they handle a character with DID with empathy, they also showed a character living a normal life, right? Stephen Grant has to take all of these precautions to make sure he doesn't wander in his sleep, right? He has to manage this mental illness that he has, but he also goes to work. He goes to work every day. He's also desperately trying to connect with people around him. He wants connection. He wants a sense of belonging. Yes, they show him being vulnerable. Yes, they show him missing days in that scene we talked about a couple weeks back.
Yeah, with the date and everything.
Yeah, and then you see this like feeling of lonely. You see it on his face. It's loneliness. It's isolation. And anyone who struggles with mental illness knows that feeling.
Yeah.
But they also show a really healthy representation of healing and of learning how. Like, I mean, fucking spoiler alert, folks. When they're on the afterlife sands, right? They're sailing those sands, and it's the season finale, where he goes and rescues Steven, and he tells him he was the only superpower he needed. That was a really fucking powerful line for me to hear, because in my own experience, I have tried to reframe my bipolar disorder as a strength, as a benefit to me, because while, yes, my emotions can get dysregulated and I can have really extreme reactions to things, if I try to turn that frown upside down, maybe it's the fact that, like, I am not out of control emotionally, I just feel things harder. I have to become more in tune with my emotions to understand them. That was just such a powerful moment for me. That was such a fucking, like... And believe me, leading up to that, I was a little sketchy with like the whole psychiatric hospital motif, because that felt a little tropey at first. I was like, okay, did we have to go to a psychiatric hospital, guys? Like,
well, but I mean, at that point in time, like, I forget the hippo's name.
Tarawet,
who
I will fight for.
Yes, absolutely, she is precious. But like, Tarawet explains that the mind, you know, like the fact that everything looks like a mental institution, the mind is trying to rationalize the situation.
Yeah.
So when you have, like, when they're in the mental institution, I think it's not necessarily tropey. It's a matter of, at this point in time, Steven is so out of the whole thing is like they're in there because everything's out of balance.
Right. So
because they, like, both sides, Mark and Steven both don't, like, they believe they're completely insane.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah.
More Steven than Mark, but
yeah,
you don't find that out till later.
So I kind of had a different read on it after I kind of sat with it and thought about it, specifically the psychiatric institution side of it, and why it wasn't a trope, because it was not presented in a way to isolate Steven or Mark from society. It was presented in a way it was a construct for them to heal, to begin healing. Because, I mean, in that whole sequence, when they're in that space, it's all about Mark confronting his trauma, confronting the trigger for his DID, and then ultimately seeing Steven not as a hindrance, or or as Khonshu would, what did Khonshu refer to him as? Something derogatory and dismissive, right? Khonshu is
usually a parasite, or
that's what it was. What it was. So instead of Mark looking at Steven that way, he realized that it was Steven that saved him, and like that whole sequence of like him confronting his trauma and beginning to heal was handled with such deftness. And overall, it just makes me so fucking here for Phase 4 of the MCU, because every project in Phase 4 has just found a way to sink its hooks into the depths of your heart balls and just twist that sack.
Your heart balls. I feel like we've said that before. I don't want to believe it, but I feel like we've said it before.
No, it's probably happened.
It probably has.
It's not the weirdest thing we've said.
Go back about 8 years and just find an episode of talking about heart balls.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the weirdest thing, but it is an interesting image. Because honestly, if you took a heart, or a traditional shape of a heart, and then the shape of a testicle,
and you flipped it a little bit.
If you took the original, like a Valentine's Day heart, and then instead of the tip at the end, if you just put a ball sack on it, it would be the infinite loop of balls.
Isn't the shape of a heart already derived from the shape of a woman's butt?
I'm still stuck on the infinite loop of balls.
Oh, God. Of course you are. Yeah, no, I think I remember hearing somewhere it's like hearts are, like someone took the shape, like made a heart, like the shape of a heart, and like based it off of a woman's butt.
There are more tactful ways, bud, to tell me that I have a heart-shaped hiney.
You really don't.
I do. I have a nice butt.
Since you've been working out a lot, I mean, it's kind of sagged.
It has done the opposite of sag,
my
friend.
You have an old man frog butt?
I do not have an old man frog butt. This is slander. This is libel and slander, and I will not stand for it.
I don't know what you're sitting on, dude, but it's not a butt.
I am not Hank Hill, okay? I do not have diminished glutes. I have very supple glutes, okay?
Supple.
They are a handful, okay? I will not take such slander. I will not have anyone I will not have anyone disrespecting my cakes, okay?
Yeah, and you won't have your friends doing anything nice for you either, but you had to swallow that one this
I don't
morning.
know how to handle that, okay? I do not know how to handle people being nice to me. It's my own thing. I know. It's a me thing. I have to figure out... Because my first reaction when someone does something nice for me is like, fuck you. Like, it's such a backwards way of fucking handling that situation.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm a broken fucking individual. But know that I'm not ungrateful. I
know. You're fine.
I do not have the tool set to deal with that.
No, I was looking through the Funko Pops. I was like, I'm not going to get myself anything. And I was like, I saw the Rita, and I was like, I got to get this for him.
Hell yeah. You cannot be a Green Ranger fan and not acknowledge that in that movie, Rita was the Green Ranger.
Rita was the Green Ranger, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, you can't. Going back to Moon Knight. How fucking sick was that Mr. Knight and Moon Knight fight scene where they were kind of switching off?
Is that what it is? It's Mr. Knight and Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that like when they were switching off and they were fighting Harrow?
Yeah.
That was fucking cool.
I like the fact that like Steven understanding what he is now has come to the conclusion, like, Mark, you got it. Wait, we're the same person. Mm-hmm. If Mark's got it, I've got it.
Yep.
And he just starts kicking ass.
Yep.
I was that's awesome.
Dude.
And he does it with nunchucks.
Yeah. Like, we gotta give Oscar Isaac all the fucking credit, man.
Yes.
Like, that dude, Space Daddy can fucking act.
Yeah.
He's just
it's you can you're gonna get some acting chops exercised when you're playing multiple roles in the same movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, of course, they tease that there's a third personality in there that's a fucking homicidal maniac.
See, I fucking called it, in that, in the first time when, Mark starts going off the deep end, and, you see him, tearing through people, and suddenly, there's a bunch of scene changes and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I knew there was another personality.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking knew it.
And I'm here for the magic side of things, man. I'm really here for the magic side of the MCU.
Was his third personality Scottish?
I don't know. I don't know. He
had the accent.
There was an accent, but I don't think it was Scottish.
I
don't think it was Scottish.
I don't remember what it was.
If you're in the comments, let us know, because we're at an impasse with that one.
Yeah.
But and also it shows what a deceptive piece of shit Khonshu is. He was supposed to let them go, but he didn't say anything about the third personality. Was it Jake? Jake was the third personality's name?
I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, didn't say anything about that guy. Fuck Khonshu.
Khonshu. I was rooting for Khonshu in the Megazord battle.
Oh, yeah, the Kaiju battle?
Yeah, Kaiju battle. That's what yeah.
Oh, now a Megazord would have been kick-ass. They should have fucking dropped that in there. Cross the streams, bud.
No.
Hell yeah, man.
No.
You can imagine it, Amit and fucking Khonshu are going at it. The Pyramid of Giza's in the background. Khonshu's he's getting his shit rocked like a heavyweight UFC title fight. He's just getting ground and pounded. And then you hear the bam, 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 bam. Fucking Dragon Zord comes in, missiles coming out of his fucking fingers and shit. Drill tail. I would fucking watch that. I would watch that. Disney Plus, if you're listening, I just wrote season 2 of Moon Knight for you.
Oh, God.
It's the crossover. It's the Power Rangers Moon Knight crossover. You're welcome. You're welcome. Pay me however you see fit, as long as it's cash.
God.
That would have been way badass. And you know I'm right.
I mean, you throw a Megazord into any giant kaiju battle, it's going to be badass, but...
Dragon Zord.
Does it need to happen?
Dragon Zord. I will submit to you, there was never a more badass Zord design than the Dragon Zord. They peaked at the
original
Dragon Zord.
one?
Yes.
Let me see.
They peaked at the Dragon Zord, dude. I'm sorry to all the other fans of all the other Ranger seasons. I'm sure you have your favorite Megazord, Zeo or Time Force or whatever. But I'm sorry, they peaked at the Dragon Zord. That was the most singularly badass fucking Zord in the entire franchise history.
Well, I mean, it's kind of it's kind of stubby.
How dare you?
It has
How dare you?
It has
it's
no
average.
neck.
It's
has
average.
no neck.
How dare you?
It's the chemicals in the water.
Turn to the friggin' frogs game.
No, but its just its arms and head are stubby. It's all legs. It's got a
Godzilla,
mini torso.
Dude. It's Godzilla.
It is Godzilla.
It's Godzilla. It's Mecha Godzilla.
We'll see here. Now, here's another version
balls.
of it that looks better. It's kind of hit or miss. Some pictures of it are the arms are super stubby and it's got no neck, and then there's others where it actually has some decent arms and a good head on its shoulders.
Those stubby arms got missiles in the fingers, bro. They'll light your ass up like a Christmas tree. Better watch it. One note on my flute and it's all over, buddy. My flute dagger, it's all over.
You're still talking about that fucking dagger.
I fucking love that thing.
What was that? That was a birthday present from
Christmas
your
present.
wife, wasn't it? Christmas present.
Yeah, I walk past that thing every day. Every day I walk past that thing and I take a pause and I look at it and I'm like, sick.
And just think, if you had any kind of if you had any compassion, if you had any passion for the franchise, I feel like you would have already had a helmet to go along with the dagger.
You're just saying that because we saw a White Ranger helmet today and it was pretty fucking rad.
But I also remember at Gravity Damage, there was that Green Ranger helmet that you flat out, you would walk past that just to be like, oh.
Yeah, no, I would walk past it and my dick would move every time. Every time. It's going to happen. One day I will have a Power Ranger helmet. And my neighbors will have to suffer me walking outside in my silky shorts and a Green Ranger helmet and nothing else while I mow the lawn. You're looking at the price and you're going to be very disappointed.
How do you know?
Because I've looked at the prices. Come on, really? How would I know? How would I know? If I had it my way, if money was no fucking object, Brad, I would have a full Green Ranger costume at this point.
Well, I mean, I've got to find a Christmas present for you, man.
You bet. No.
Bam,
Hard no.
$24.99.
Is it the model of the helmet or the actual helmet?
I don't fucking know. I think it's an actual helmet. Don't. It's disguise adult Green Ranger helmet.
Yeah, don't.
It's cheap. It's a helmet, but it's cheap.
Don't do anything. Don't do anything. If you do anything, I will find you, and I will rule you.
You will rule me.
Look. You're already you're writing checks your ass can't catch.
I don't know, man. $24.99. I feel like my ass could absolutely cash that check.
Hell no. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Hey, pivot. Pivot. Pivot.
What?
We did go see a movie.
Yes. A badass movie.
Fucking A. Again, more Phase 4 MCU Marvel. All for it. I'm here for it, man. More. Like, it's weird. Go ahead.
No, I mean, Multiverse of Madness. Would you say this is the first... I want to say that this is, the first... Out of everything we've watched, this is, the first a hero... one of our heroes turned villain.
I would say... Yeah, okay, so you're talking about Scarlet Witch, of course.
Well, yeah.
They gave her the Vader treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is a fallen hero that...
I found, oh, man, I sympathized with her. I honestly, there were times I was rooting for her.
Because you get it.
Yeah.
You understand it. She's still grieving.
Yeah.
And she's going through the grieving process, right?
Yeah.
And they set it up at the end of WandaVision. She's, reading the Darkhold, and she hears her kids' voices. That's going to fuck with somebody. And she even, she has one line in the movie that sells her entire motivations, right? She looks at Strange. You break reality. You break the rules and become a hero. I do the same thing, and I'm a villain. It's not fair. And she is trying to do the same thing that everyone asks Stephen Strange. When everyone asks Stephen Strange, are you happy? And he doesn't know how to answer. He comes up with some bullshit answer because he hasn't even confronted that himself. Wanda's trying to do the same, that she's trying to be happy. She's going about it in a really fucked up way, targeting a kid.
But I mean, that's also, she feels backed into a corner. Because wasn't it she was out of all the Wandas in all the multiverse, she was the only one that didn't have kids?
Yeah.
I think that was mentioned, where she's all these other Wandas.
Yeah. And not only that, man, again, it's the Vader story. It's the same story as Anakin. And, she does some really fucked up shit, but in her head, it's justified. Exactly. It's absolutely justified because she deserves to be happy like anybody else. And it's again,
she feels, I think it's kind of she feels like the multiverse took something away from her. The multiverse took everything away from her, so she feels justified in tearing the multiverse apart to try and get it.
Yeah, she's a very interesting mirror to another character, like Thor. Thor is another character in the MCU who's lost fucking everything. He lost his mom, his dad, his fucking home. He lost his brother,
who he just discovered.
Yeah, he just reconciled everything with his brother, and then the Thanos snaps his fucking neck, and then he literally fucks up, and half of everything gets erased. Now he gets to a resolution with that with Endgame, and then we're going to see the continuation of that with Thor: Love and Thunder. But Wanda's the character that's lost everything too. She lost her family in conflict. She lost her brother. She lost Vision. She literally had to kill Vision. And I was
about to say something that she had said. I feel like she kind of there was a point there where she was kind of laying some blame on Strange.
Oh yeah,
because he would not have been able, Thanos would not have been able to turn back time and get Vision if Strange had not given him the Time Stone.
Yeah. Well, that's even something that's addressed in Multiverse of Madness. At the wedding scene, there's that whole interaction with that guy asking Stephen Strange, was there really no other way? You know? Because that's kind of one of the central hooks in the movie is loss. It's loss. You know, Stephen Strange has lost any hope of a relationship with Christine. Like, that's gone. That's out the window. That is done. He signed off on that when he gave away the Time Stone. You know, and 5 years passed before he came zipping back into existence.
I was about to say, you really, like, even though, like, all these movies have, like, references to, like, people missing 5 years of their lives and then, like, coming back, you really don't think about a lot of some of the main characters that they've introduced in these movies. Like, every time they've mentioned it, it's usually, like, some stranger that is, like, just being introduced in the movie. But, like, when you have Strange and Christine, it was like, when you last saw them in Doctor Strange, like, they had reconciled a relationship and they were going to try.
Yeah.
And then, bam, 5 years goes by without Strange. You know, and in Spider-Man, you laugh at the fact that, oh, Wong is now the Sorcerer Supreme instead of Strange.
Yeah.
Like, you laugh at all the back jokes, but then, like, you see Christine's wedding that Strange is invited to, and you're like,
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, there's consequences. There's consequences to this shit. And, like, I love the way that they handled Stephen Strange's character, because, like, again, in the multiverse, he always seems to make a really fucked up and cold, calculated decision with America Chavez. Like, we see, which version of Strange is that? Like, the
They don't list the Earth. It's just, I think it's just referred to as Ponytail Strange or some shit.
Something like that. There's a name for it, but, like, he turns on his friend, on a kid.
Yeah.
And makes the decision like, hey, you know, he even uses the same line from No Way Home in the grand calculus of the multiverse, blah, 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 blah. You know, so this movie shows that Stephen Strange can make a very cold decision if he has to. And he keeps encountering versions of himself that have done that. You know, there was the Illuminati Strange that did something like that.
Was that 82838?
Something like that. And then it was ultimately killed for that decision. The Illuminati fucking killed him. He sees the other Strange in the real fucked up dimension where they get into that kick-ass music battle. You know, that guy.
What? Okay, how many different orchestra scores were in that everyone recognized, man?
Oh, it's so good.
I heard like 3 different. I could have sworn I heard like 3 different iterations of music.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I loved that, dude. As a music fan, I was like, they're fighting with music. Yes. Fucking yes. You know, but again, like, he keeps running into these versions of himself that have made these fucked up decisions. And we got another version of Strange in What If that did the same thing. Mm-hmm. But he is the one that consciously decides to go another way. Mm-hmm. He's the one outlier. And that's a good fucking piece of character growth. It's a good thing that characters can look at those trends and transcend that. Like, that's so fucking rad. You know? Well,
yeah, but I mean, also at the end of the day, like, after he finds out about all these Strange's other choices, he still makes the choice to use the Darkhold.
Yeah, but he does it for the right reasons.
Well, I mean, so did the other Stranges.
Yeah, except this one in this version.
Except this one turned out.
Yeah, and then he even went into it without he was not intending to do any real harm to Wanda. Mm-mm. You know, that was the thing. He was also giving Wanda the choice to do better, to redeem herself. Again, a la Darth Vader.
I was about to say, it was more, I think he, like, everyone in this entire series, like, every chance they got when they found out, like, what Wanda was trying to do, they sympathized with her like we did. Like, they understood. And then, you know, like, I think the number one point that they kept pointing out was, like, what you're doing is, like, what are your kids going to think?
Yeah.
These kids that you're going to create, what would they think? Or, oh, you're taking the place of her mother. Like, what are they going to think? How are they going to feel about you?
Yeah.
And then, but, like, you know, the entire time, one is just like, I'm their mother, and they'll understand and all this. And then she gets put face to face with who she is being put in front of her kids.
Yep.
and her kids see her being what she is.
Yep.
And like they see, like it's the condition of like their mother is also there, and they see like this Scarlet Witch throw their mother off to the side, and
Yep.
like it terrifies them.
Well, yeah, because at that point she's the Scarlet Witch. She's not Wanda.
And that's what she realizes.
Yeah, I mean it's the same. It's a similar moment to Return of the Jedi when Luke lost his fucking temper and hacked off Vader's hand, and he looks at his own robotic hand and he sees his fucking dad laying there like fucking like, hey, come on, man, ease up, and then he realizes, holy shit, I'm being Vader. I am now Vader. It's the same kind of thing where it gives them that chance at like, whoa, back the fuck up here, man. It's so fucking deftly handled. And again, I got to give all the props to Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi made a Sam Raimi film in the MCU. Like there are some major Sam Raimi moments, and I'm fucking here for it, man.
They put in the guy with the chin,
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce
fucking Campbell.
And
on top of that, the homage to the Evil Dead.
Yeah,
that was an homage.
The fact that his own hand turns on him and beats the shit out of him.
Exactly, an homage to Evil Dead. I love it. And then plus Zombie Strange, man. Like the most fucking death metal thing the MCU could do. Zombie Strange using like souls as a fucking cape. Like so fucking rad.
Well, and then even then the Strange that he got into the fight with that he killed was kind of like a Demon Strange.
Yeah.
So you had like a Demon Strange, you had Zombie Strange using Reaper's souls to fly around and shit.
So metal. So metal. You could have put some Emperor or some fucking Dark Throne to that, and it would have fit perfectly. Oh, it would have been good. Some Dimmu Borgir. That'd have been fucking
I'm so
amazing.
glad they didn't kill off Wong.
Hell yeah, dude. Wong is the shit.
Like for a bit there, I thought they had killed off Wong.
No, I am here for the Wong-assance. I am here for it. I want Wong in everything now. And apparently he fucking will be.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's going to be in Miss Marvel.
Well, he's the Sorcerer Supreme. You can't not have the Sorcerer Supreme.
So that brings up an interesting thing, because we talked about this after we left the theater, was like the sense of like we just don't know where the MCU's going yet, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of unfamiliar territory for us because, like, with Phase 1, from Phase 1 of the MCU, we knew it was going towards Thanos. It was moving towards the Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
You know, and we knew that from Phase 2 all the way up to Phase 3. We knew this. Coming into Phase 4, it doesn't really have a clear direction, at least to us, the audience.
Yeah.
You're right? So it feels like they're inhabiting two areas for me. It feels like they're inhabiting the magical and the cosmic.
Yeah.
You know, we're not getting a whole lot of, like, ground level stuff. Like, we got Black Widow, and that was really ground level, street level, kind of like Winter Soldier.
Hawkeye.
In Hawkeye, was a little more ground level, but like a lot of it's like cosmic and magical, which is great. I'm fucking here for it.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That was a little more ground level, you know. So I mean, it's the only thing that I'm very curious of is like just where are we going? Where's this leading to?
Well,
you know.
Yeah, and what I think it is I mean, with the way Avengers usually go. And I think we talked about this when they first started doing the Avengers movies, or not the Avengers movies, but like setting up for the Avengers. We always knew that they would do a Civil War, because that's like when you're building a Marvel cinematic universe. In the case of the Avengers, you always have to do Civil War, because that brings like. That's like that's the team, like that's the Avengers from Earth meeting the Avengers from space, and then they become the Avengers. And, you know, that kind of brings them together ultimately. So you do the Civil War, and then you have to do, once you do Civil War, I mean, the next step is going to be Thanos and the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Those two points in Avengers timelines have always been it.
Yeah.
You know, they've always like that. Just kind of like that's like those two events are like kind of your base level for Avengers.
Yeah.
And then from there it can split off in a bunch of different directions, because from there that's when they alter the storyline. Yeah. That's when you have different universes that have, oh, well, this happens in this one, or you have this threat that arrives before this threat over here and all that. So
right. I mean, so it's interesting because the thing that I have to tell myself to kind of temper that feeling of like just not knowing where it's going is that to get to Infinity War and Endgame took 3 phases.
Mm-hmm.
Took 3 phases of films, 10 years almost. So it's okay if I don't know exactly where it's heading.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm kind of concerned about, and we're going to talk about the cameos in Doctor Strange, right? So, obviously, spoilers, obviously. But John Krasinski as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, great, awesome. That was amazing. Anson Mount coming back as Black Bolt, cool, great.
What was he in before?
He was in the Inhumans, the one season of Inhumans that Marvel did and failed spectacularly. I didn't watch Inhumans primarily because nothing good came out of it. Like, it was just not great. But he came back to be Black Bolt for this, and it was well done. I mean, seeing his fucking head cave in was like death metal as fuck.
Oh my god.
Right?
I think, you know what, like the whole movie I was doing everything I could not to make a noise. And then I think at that point when it's...
Yeah.
I was like, oh!
Yeah, I heard that. And
I know you did. You're sitting next to me.
And then to have, Monica Rambeau's mom, Carol Danvers' best friend come in as Captain Marvel, awesome. And of course, I am always here for Captain Carter. Always here.
That's who that was?
That was Monica Rambeau's mom, Carol Danvers' best friend.
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
Did not even realize that.
Yep. She was Captain Marvel in that universe. And again, I'm here for every iteration of Captain Carter. Put Captain Carter in everything. Yes. 1,000 times yes.
Stomp on me harder, mommy.
Yeah. Captain Carter, mommy, sorry. I'm here for it, right? And then, of course, it was really nice to see Patrick Stewart as Xavier again. And it was also really fucking rad to hear the X-Men the animated series theme play as he
entered.
In.
Oh, God.
That was awesome. And even the scene he had with when he was trying to fight Scarlet Witch and the young Wanda stuck in the rubble, trying to pull her out. Like, that was a great scene. The only thing that concerns me with these cameos, as cool as they are, like especially with Professor X and the X-Men, bringing in Patrick Stewart, as cool as it was, like, are we not trying to set up the MCU's X-Men? Are the MCU's X-Men even going to come from Earth 616? Are they going to be from another Earth?
I mean, that would be one way to explain why they weren't there the entire time.
Right.
We might, we also have the Loki series in the background. Mm-hmm. So I feel like somehow they're gonna have a divergence,
an incursion.
Are they gonna do an incursion, and like something like the incursion is maybe stopped last minute, and maybe part of the multiverse is gonna be combined together? See, and then suddenly we're going to have the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and the Avengers all in one.
Well, so that makes a lot of sense with the X-Men. That really does. Using an incursion event as the thing that bridges those two things, that makes sense. Now, with the Fantastic Four, Stephen Strange had a line when he talked to Reed Richards about something like, didn't you disappear in the 60s? So it could be that the way they're going to explain the Fantastic Four in the MCU is that they're going to go back in time to tell their origin story, at least partially, and they were actually sent up into space in the 1960s, and they got sucked into something or other, and then they come back in present day, and they've got these fantastic powers.
Well, what were we talking about? The quantum realm.
Possibly.
Weren't we talking... I think we had mentioned
Quantum Mania is being filmed right now, so we don't even know what the quantum realm adds to this equation. But
I think... Yeah, go ahead.
My big concern is, like, bringing Patrick Stewart back. Like, why aren't we introducing a new Professor X? Why aren't we looking at, a new cast to form out the X-Men? Why are we reaching back into the old one? Like, I understand the nostalgia, and I understand, the cool factor. I really do. I just think it's time for a new cast. I think it's time for a new look.
Well, and they can still do that. I mean, yes, I understand that they brought back like, I understand you're like, fresh cast. I just want to point this out. When they cast him as Professor Xavier, they knew they were going to ice him.
True.
They knew he was not going to be around. We can never see another Patrick Stewart Professor Xavier, and it would not affect the universe.
And it does make sense, because No Way Home, I mean, you had Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire as different Spider-Men from different universes. So it makes sense. They could very well pull that off. You know. What you can also figure is they didn't have to do Reed Richards. Period. True.
They didn't have to, but because they're just sprinkling a cameo. They knew they were going to kill him off.
True.
We don't have to have that Reed Richards.
True. Although, I'd be down for John Krasinski staying in that role. He
handled it. For all the time that he had to do it, I feel he did do it well.
Yeah, and he looks the part. And I know that was a fan cast. You know, John Krasinski as Reed Richards has been a fan cast for a long time.
Oh yeah,
a long time.
But you know what? Sometimes sometimes stars who are cast because they're fans, it turns out better than you could ever hope.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly,
entirely. I mean, I would love to see John Krasinski continue as Reed Richards. I would love to see that. I feel
like he made a good Reed Richards.
And I mean, I know the Fantastic Four movie is in development, even though John Watts recently left as director. It's in development. They're gonna make it. It's happening. You know.
Yeah.
Overall, like, the thing that I'm most excited about with the MCU, and what I think that Doctor Strange teed up really, like, Multiverse of Madness teed this up really well, is the more magical side of things. You know, because they also teed that up with Moon Knight. You know, Egyptian gods.
It's okay. So the gods are real.
Yeah. And, like, I'm also really here for, because I think that this stuff, and also there's a post-credit scene from Eternals in which you got Kit Harington's character with the black sword, Black Knight. You hear the voice of Blade. I didn't pick up on that until recently. You look at that post-credit scene, find it on YouTube, you will hear the voice of Blade. Yes. Mahershala Ali did a little quick voiceover for that, and you hear the voice of Blade. And I will speak about this until I am blue in the face. I am so excited for Blade.
Hold on.
Blade.
On.
Vampires. Give me vampires.
Hold on.
Are you listening to it right now? Wait for it. It's almost there.
You can keep talking.
I'm waiting for your eyes. I want to see your eyes.
Motherfucker.
I need to see your eyes go wide.
I'm trying to find a version that doesn't have someone trying to fucking talk over everything.
Took me a minute to find too, but trust me, it's there. So I don't know. I'm here for. I need Blade. I need it now. I need it yesterday. I really do. I really need it yesterday. And if you haven't seen Eternals yet, you really should. You really should. I'm talking to you, the audience. You should go watch Eternals. It's damn good.
It is. I like the Eternals. I thought they handled it very well.
Yeah, because right now I'm in the middle of rewatching the MCU. I'm like smack dab in the middle of the damn thing.
I'll say, motherfucker, open the fucking box.
Oh, you're watching the scene? Plus, I mean, what a fucking grab. Kit Harington? What a grab. You got Jon Snow in the MCU.
What is he in? What else is he in?
Game of Thrones, bro.
Oh, yeah. I haven't watched Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
dude.
That's Jon Snow. It's Jon fucking Snow.
Yeah, I know who he is. Once you told me Game of Thrones, I was like, that's what he looks familiar for.
Yeah.
So Black Knight. What's the premise behind Black Knight?
He's one of the cosmic characters. He's one of those cosmic characters. And he didn't have a whole lot to do in Eternals, but they're teeing him up. They're teeing him up.
Wait, hold on.
Wait for it.
Are you sure you're ready for that, Mr. Whitney?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's Blade. Yeah, man.
I mean, hell,
Yeah,
sure.
man.
I mean, if they went so far as to have him do a cameo, by all means, man.
I mean, I can't. I know Blade is going to be a movie, and Blade definitely deserves a movie. Definitely. But I'm not going to lie, I kind of wish it was a series because I want
I was about
more.
to say, but how good have they been doing with series lately, man?
I'm here for it, man. And I know, and I think this is a good place to round out the show because I'm increasingly, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm increasingly becoming more endeared or enamored, is probably the better word, more enamored with the series than I am the films. I still love the films. I still love the act of going to the movies. And I love the grandiose spectacle of the films. I love the scale of the films. But I love the character building of the series. How granular these series can get with these characters and their moments. It's everything I want out of storytelling, in that I want it to take a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, I want room to breathe. I want moments to breathe. I want to be able to like really fucking let something ruminate for a bit. And sometimes with movies, it just feels like you're just going. You know what I mean? Like Rise of Skywalker was like that. It was so fucking fast and furious for the first half of that movie. It takes half a movie for it to slow down and breathe a little bit. And the real grabbing, affecting moments in that film aren't even until the back half when it slows down. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, overall, I'm okay if things start shifting more to the series, you know? Like Lucasfilm is doing that. That Vanity Fair article came out from Lucasfilm, in which Kathleen Kennedy said straight up, like, we're doing a lot more series. Like, that's kind of where the franchise is going. Like, they're still doing movies. Like, Taika Waititi's movie is coming up next. Then Rogue Squadron. She even touched on Rian Johnson. Like, he's busy doing this stuff, but he's still in the conversation. He's still in the mix. They're done making trilogies. They're not doing any more trilogies. That era of Star Wars is done. But they're shifting a lot more to the series because we've got Kenobi in a week. Then we've got Andor at the end of the summer. Then we've got Mandalorian either at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. We have Ahsoka next year. Then maybe at the end of the year, next year, we have The Acolyte. Like, we literally have 6 more series down the pipeline for the next year and a half. You know what I mean? Like, and it makes sense. For Star Wars, it really makes sense because, like, it was Star Wars was inspired by serials, you know, by Flash Gordon and shit like that. You know? And overall, I'm here for it. I like longer form storytelling. Even something like even Book of Boba Fett, for all of its issues with focusing on other characters and Boba kind of getting put to the wayside, it's telling a broader story and something that I am very much here for. And for everyone that was like, the sequel trilogy wasn't planned out, all of these series are going to be, especially like Ahsoka and The Mandalorian, those are going to be very cohesive entities. They're going to be playing off of each other, interacting with each other. You know, if you're looking for I want Star Wars to be planned out, well, good for you. You've got Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni working on that shit.
Good for you.
You know? And then even, like, Halo is a good example. It's a series. Do you think that would have worked as a movie? Really?
As a movie, I mean, I want to say yes, but probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I can already tell, like, how much care they had to put into it to make it as a show. Mm-hmm. But to make it as a movie, I don't think it would have done well.
And look, if you want to look at, like, what's making these series more viable, it's Lucasfilm and the volume. When they created the volume for The Mandalorian, you have to understand that the volume has been used on several projects since. It's been used on the Batman. They used the volume to film a lot of stuff for the Batman, right?
Yeah.
The volume allows these companies to make these film quality series in half the time at half the budget, right? Like, it's a win-win. It is a win-win. You get to tell a longer form story, and guess what? We're going to spend half the money on production in half the time. I mean, come on. It's a win-win, you know? So especially with the MCU, I think the MCU more than anything else is going to have a really healthy balance between series and film. But personally, as Star Wars starts going more in the direction of series, I'm here. I'm all for it. I want more of it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really difficult in the next coming weeks to hold off talking about Kenobi until it's wrapped up and we're both collectively destroyed on an emotional level.
Yeah.
Because that's going to break me. It's going to break me. But anyway, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm ready for it. I want to... I'm anticipating a lot. I mean, I don't want to be unfair or anything, but I'm anticipating a lot.
Yeah, I am too. My expectations for once are kind of high, but I feel comfortable with high expectations because I think they're going to be met. They're going to be met. It's the same thing with like Rings of Power. I do have high expectations for that series, but I also very much believe they're going to be met. And a lot of the early looks that people have had at it are really positive. So I think I'm safe in that. Anywho, let's fucking land this bird, shall we?
Let's do it.
Because we got to go game. We've got a whole lot of sucking to go do. So
speak for yourself.
I had one good game last night. One.
You
and
did.
It was the last one. It was the last
one. I think you got like 12 more kills than me.
39 kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a special moment. So anyway, Brad, where can the audience find you?
They can find me personally on Twitter at Intrepid Co-host. You can find me on the Force Losers Facebook. You can find me on Xbox Live, Grenadier117. You can find me on PC with Steam, Pandora117. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So
not a lot of presence.
Yeah, because social media fucking sucks.
Yes, it does.
So
yes,
speaking of sucking social media, I'm awful at it. But you can find me on Twitter at Force_losers. You can also find me on Instagram at HeavyKevyHKT. I'm going to be doing a lot better at promoting stuff on there as well, I hope. You can also, now, you can find me on Xbox too. It's real easy to find my gamer tag, all caps, ForceLoserKev88.
Yes.
So if you happen to see me on and I'm playing Battlefront or something, come on, join. Be fun.
Or, he likes playing Shadow of War and you can invade him.
I'm actually doing pretty good at that game. I have to admit.
Are you?
It is on easy mode, admittedly, because I like the story. Don't judge me, okay?
I'm judged.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me, okay? I just want to have fun, okay? I don't want to fucking rage quit and throw my controller through a window. All right?
That doesn't stop you.
I just want to have fun. That's all I want to do. I want to have fun and enjoy the
just
story.
wants to have fun.
Oh, Kev, just don't want to have fun. Yeah, that was good. It was infectious.
Thank you.
Real quick, before we wrap this up, we had to plug it again. If you guys are so inclined, please go check out the Amidala Initiative.
Yes.
At Amidala Helps on Twitter. It's a wonderful, wonderful project that we're so happy to be a part of. All donations go to Equality Texas to push back against some of the lecherous old shitbags that are running our state and trying to literally prosecute the families of transgender kids for child abuse, if you can fucking believe it. So anything you can do helps. If you can donate. If you can enter into if you can buy some merch. And if you can't do that and all you can do is share it, please just share it. Get the word out, because speaking as Texans who vehemently do not sign on to this fucking shit and who actively want to fight back against it, this is a very important initiative that you can help contribute to. Even if it's just sharing it and spreading the word, it does a whole lot. So, please, if you're so inclined, go check out the Amidala Initiative. We would be eternally grateful to you. Now, also, if you are listening to this and you made it this far and you didn't completely... if you didn't shove an ice pick into your ear yet and you kind of like what you heard, do us a solid. Leave a like. Leave a review, share it with your friends, subscribe, whatever you got to do to titillate the algorithm to actually, I don't know, help us push it.
Give us some recognition, please.
Please, we just need your validation, man. That's all we need. We just need validation. Like any other podcaster, we're not too different from any other podcaster that you're going to run into. We all just want your validation. We just want to know that we're entertaining you for an hour and 15 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're so inclined, leave us a like, leave us a review, subscribe to us on the platforms. We're literally everywhere. Anywhere you can find a podcast, you're gonna find this fucking train wreck somewhere.
Yeah, because Anchor is the shit.
Fuck yeah. And I am not too proud to say we have a whopping $9 in our account. You could say
I saw that. I've been on the account lately, and I'm like,
you could say we've made it. You could say we've made it. You know.
Oh God.
Today, $9. 10 years from now, maybe $10. Who knows? We might be lucky. So anyway, thank you so much for everyone that has listened and supported us and continues to support us. It does not go unnoticed. It is not without a tremendous heaping of gratitude. We love you guys. We hope you enjoyed the show tonight, and we hope to see you again in a few weeks where we will talk Halo, because I will have finished it. And we are going to desperately avoid talking about Kenobi until it wraps, but, if it bleeds in...
It's going to bleed in. You already know.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, Brad, you know how we end this bitch.
Every time.
Every fucking time. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, and a one, and a two, and a three. Later, bitches!
Motherfucker.